everyone. Ready for another deep dive. Today we're looking at something pretty huge, Tesla's new Megapack factory in Shanghai.
Yeah, it's been getting a lot of attention.
Definitely. So to kick things off, can you give us a quick rundown of what a Megapack actually is? Why are these things so important?
Well, think of it like a giant battery, but instead of powering your phone or your laptop, it's designed to store energy on a massive scale, like enough to keep entire communities running.
Whoa, so basically if the sun goes down or the wind stops, we could still have lights on thanks to these Megapacks.
Exactly. That's why they're so crucial for making renewable energy reliable. And what's really impressive about the Shanghai factory is the speed. They built the whole thing in just 7 months.
7 months? That's insane. For a project that big, it's like they just snap their fingers and boom, instant factory.
Pretty much. And we've got some great sources to help us break this down. We've got some recent tweets from Sawyer Merritt. He's always got the inside scoop on Tesla. And we found a really detailed analysis online that goes deep into all the implications of this new factory.
Perfect. So what makes this Shanghai factory so different from other Megapack factories?
Well, the location is key. It's right next door to Tesla's Gigafactory in Shanghai, so they can tap into all that expertise that China has in battery technology and manufacturing.
So they're setting up shop right in the heart of battery innovation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's not just about location. This factory is going to be pumping out a crazy number of Megapacks, like 10,000 every year. That basically doubles Tesla's global production capacity.
Wow. So that's enough to power a small city entirely on stored renewable energy.
That's the idea, and the implications of that are huge. We're talking about potential ripple effects across the entire energy landscape.
Yeah, our sources really emphasize that it's not just about making more Megapacks, it's about how this could change the game for renewable energy around the world.
Exactly. Let's start with the most obvious impact. This is going to have a major effect on the energy storage market itself. More Megapacks available means more countries and companies can seriously invest in large-scale renewable energy projects.
Because now they've got a reliable way to store all that energy.
Right. And that makes renewables much more appealing to investors and governments who are trying to reduce their reliance on fossil fuels.
So this factory could actually speed up the transition to a cleaner energy future.
It definitely has that potential.
Yeah.
Now, what about the economic side of things? This factory is a big deal for Shanghai. It's creating tons of jobs and boosting the local economy.
Plus, China reducing their dependence on fossil fuels is a win for everyone, right? Both economically and environmentally.
Absolutely. But it's not all sunshine and roses. Our sources also pointed out some potential downsides, particularly when it comes to those ongoing trade tensions between the U.S. and China.
Right, because China's already a major player in renewable energy, with Tesla setting up shop there. It does make you think about the bigger geopolitical picture.
Definitely. There's a lot at play here. China's becoming more and more ambitious in the clean energy sector, and now Tesla is even more intertwined with those ambitions.
So it's a bold move by Tesla with some inherent risks.
You could say that anytime you're dealing with cutting-edge technology on this scale, especially in a complex geopolitical landscape, there's always going to be an element of risk.
Fair enough. Now let's talk about something everyone's wondering about. Will this flood of new Megapacks mean cheaper prices?
That's the million-dollar question. The increased production from this factory could lead to lower prices, thanks to economies of scale, which would be great for everyone. But we also need to consider the competition. There are some Chinese companies investing heavily in battery technology, and they might be ready to undercut Tesla.
So it could spark a price war, but ultimately benefit consumers in the long run.
Yeah, that's a possibility. It'll be fascinating to see how this all plays out.
Speaking of Tesla and their big plans, those Sawyer Merritt tweets had some interesting details. The timing's remarkable. The factory passed inspection just a few days ago on December 27th. It seems like they're working at warp speed.
It does show how efficient they can be. What else caught your eye?
Well, the tweets specifically mention that they're planning to export these Shanghai-built Megapacks to the Asia-Pacific region. It's like they're making a statement, we're not just building for China, we're building for the world.
It definitely sends a message about their global ambitions.
Yeah.
They want to be the dominant force in the energy storage market.
And then there's that eye-popping figure. The tweets mentioned billions in revenue generated by this factory.
Yeah. That's a lot of Megapacks.
Right.
We're talking about potentially thousands of them being deployed globally every year, offsetting millions of tons of carbon emissions.
Wow, that puts it into perspective. It's not just about Tesla making money, it's about the potential impact on the entire planet.
Exactly. This factory is just one piece of the puzzle, but it's a big one. It raises some fundamental questions about the future of energy And who's going to lead the charge towards a sustainable future?
Big questions indeed. But for now, let's take a breath. Let all this information sink in. We've covered a lot of ground, and we'll be back soon to explore those broader implications.
It really is a fascinating situation, isn't it? Tesla making this big move into China, it raises so many questions about where we're headed with energy and the role of major players like China.
Yeah, definitely. This isn't just about one company building a factory. It feels like a much bigger shift in, global power dynamics.
Yeah.
Who's going to lead the way in technology and innovation, especially when it comes to a sustainable future?
I think you're right. Having Tesla, a big American company, investing so heavily in China, it could really speed up the global transition to renewable energy.
Kind of like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
If China's going all in, other countries won't want to be left behind.
Exactly. There's definitely a competitive element to this. No country wants to be on the sidelines when it comes to a major economic and technological shift.
But at the same time, we can't ignore the geopolitical risks we talked about earlier. Becoming more reliant on China for such a crucial technology that does raise some eyebrows.
That brings up a really important question about global supply chains. Should we be aiming for more diversification, having multiple production centers for these essential technologies? Or does it make more sense to focus production in a place like China where manufacturing is already so efficient?
It's a tough balance, right? Cost effectiveness, security, global cooperation. It's complex. But sticking with Tesla for a minute, what do you think their long-term strategy is here? Are they just trying to dominate the market? Or is there something more to it?
I think it's more than just cornering the market. Of course, they're a business and they want to be profitable. But I also think Tesla genuinely believes in this mission of moving the world towards sustainable energy.
So it's a mix of business savvy and idealism.
Yeah, I'd say so. They're playing the long game, building the infrastructure, even if it means navigating some tricky geopolitics and taking on some risks. And it's not just Megapacks either. They're doing electric vehicles, solar panels, software to manage entire energy grids. They want to create this whole ecosystem for a sustainable future.
It's a pretty ambitious vision. It goes way beyond just selling products. It's about changing how we think about energy altogether. But is it realistic? Can one company really have that much influence?
It's a good question. It's easy to be cynical, especially when you see how slow governments and big institutions can be. But Tesla has a history of disrupting industries and pushing the boundaries.
Yeah, they've definitely shaken things up. Remember when electric cars were seen as this niche thing for rich people? Now they're everywhere, thanks in part to Tesla.
Exactly. They changed how people thought about electric cars, and they pushed other car companies to invest in the technology. Maybe they can do the same thing with energy storage.
So they're not just building a company, they're building a movement.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah.
And movements, especially ones that tap into this sense of urgency and possibility, they can be incredibly powerful.
And there's definitely a sense of urgency when it comes to climate change and finding sustainable solutions. Speaking of challenges, what are some of the hurdles Tesla might face with this Shanghai factory?
Well, we talked about the geopolitical risks. If things get worse between the U.S. and China, that could impact Tesla's operations. And even if things stay stable, working in a different culture with different regulations, that's always going to have its own set of challenges.
And what about competition? Aside from a potential price war, are there other companies out there that could really threaten Tesla's position in the market?
Oh, absolutely. There are a lot of players in the energy storage space, both in China and globally. Companies like BYD, CATL, LG Chem, they're all investing heavily in battery tech.
So it's not a guaranteed win for Tesla?
Not at all. Energy storage is such a dynamic and fast-moving field. Nothing's guaranteed. But Tesla does have that early lead. Their brand is strong. And they have that vertical integration. They control everything from battery production to the software that manages it all. That gives them a big advantage.
Having control over the whole process is huge, but technology never stops evolving. What kind of innovation do you think we'll see in the Megapack space in the next few years?
That's a great question. Honestly, even Tesla probably doesn't know all the answers yet. But some things to watch out for are improvements in battery chemistry for higher energy density and longer lifespan, more sophisticated software to manage energy flow, seamless integration with other renewable energy sources, and the power grid.
So it's not just about making bigger batteries, it's about making them smarter, more efficient, more adaptable.
Precisely. This new factory isn't just about ramping up production. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible with energy storage.
Speaking of pushing boundaries, our sources mentioned some interesting details about this factory. They specifically said that these Shanghai Megapacks are using LFP batteries, lithium iron phosphate. Is there a reason they went with that specific type of battery?
There are a few reasons why LFP batteries make sense in this situation. They have some key advantages, especially for stationary energy storage like Megapacks.
I'm curious, what are some of those advantages?
Well, for one thing, they're known for being very safe. They're also more stable at higher temperatures, and they tend to last longer than some other types of batteries. Plus, they're generally cheaper to produce.
So they're safer, they last longer, A&D, they're cheaper. That's a pretty good combo.
It is. It's
Oh.
also worth noting that LFP batteries have become really popular in China's electric vehicle market.
Hmm.
So Tesla's tapping into an existing supply chain and all that expertise by using this type of battery for their Megapacks.
That's smart. They're using local resources, building on existing technology, and creating a product that's both innovative and cost-effective. This factory feels like more than just expanding production. It's about putting Tesla in a strategic position to lead this global energy transition.
I agree. And the fact that this factory is in China, that adds another layer of significance. It's a recognition that the future of energy isn't just being driven by Western countries anymore.
It's like a passing of the torch in a way.
You could say that China is a global leader when it comes to renewable energy technologies. And Tesla building this factory there,
Yeah.
that's acknowledging that reality.
What does this shift mean for the U.S. and other Western countries? Are they at risk of falling behind?
That's a tough question to answer. Honestly, it's something people will be debating for years to come. But one thing's clear. The global energy landscape is changing rapidly. Countries and companies that don't adapt and innovate, they're going to get left behind.
It's like a wake-up call for the world to embrace these changes happening in the energy sector and keep up with innovation.
I think so. It's a reminder that climate change and the need for sustainable energy, they require a global response. We need to be willing to collaborate and learn from each other.
That's a great point. We've covered a lot in this deep dive. Tesla's new factory, the future of energy storage. It's been a whirlwind of information. Before we jump into those broader implications, let's give our listeners a moment to process everything.
A moment to reflect is always a good thing.
All right, we're back. And I bet you've had some time to think about everything we've discussed about Tesla's Shanghai Megapack factory.
It really does make you think about how connected everything is, doesn't it? Technology, energy, even geopolitics. Something happens on one side of the world, and it impacts everyone.
It's true. And this new factory feels like one of those moments where those impacts are going to be felt far and wide. So let's talk about the future. What might happen because of all this?
Well, one thing's for sure. The need for energy storage is only going to keep growing. As more countries and companies switch to renewable energy, they're going to need a way to store that energy when the sun's not shining or the wind's not blowing.
So Megapacks will be in high demand for a long time.
Definitely. But it won't just be Megapacks. I think we'll see all sorts of energy storage solutions popping up, from small home batteries to massive grid-scale systems.
So the whole energy landscape is changing, becoming less reliant on those big power plants?
Yeah, exactly. We're moving towards a system where energy is produced and stored closer to where it's needed, making everything more resilient, less vulnerable to disruptions.
That makes sense. And it opens up some interesting possibilities for innovation, new ways of doing business.
Absolutely. Imagine homeowners selling extra energy from their solar panels back to the grid, or communities pooling resources to create their own microgrids.
Wow, that sounds incredibly efficient and empowering. But let's be realistic, there have to be some challenges involved in creating this kind of future.
Of course, integrating all these different energy sources into the existing grid is a huge challenge, a complex engineering puzzle. And then there are the policy and regulatory hurdles to overcome. But the potential benefits are huge, so it's worth figuring those challenges out.
This is bigger than just Tesla and Megapacks, isn't it? It's about a fundamental shift in how we think about energy as a society.
You got it. And that shift is already happening. Tesla's Shanghai factory is a big sign of that. It's a clear signal that we're moving toward a future where sustainable energy is a reality, not just a dream.
What about governments? Are they doing enough to support these new energy storage technologies?
It depends. Some countries are investing a lot in renewable energy and energy storage, while others are lagging behind.
So there's still work to be done, globally.
For sure. But I'm optimistic. More and more people are recognizing that energy security and climate change are connected. We need a global response to tackle these challenges.
And hopefully that response includes a lot of innovation and competition.
Absolutely. We need companies like Tesla pushing the boundaries, but we also need a diverse group of players all bringing their ideas and expertise to the table.
It's not about who wins, it's about moving forward together.
Exactly. This isn't just about technology or economics or geopolitics. It's about our planet's future and how we power it in a way that works for everyone.
Well said. We've explored Tesla's new Shanghai Megapack factory from every angle. The technology, the global implications, everything. It's been a great deep dive, and I hope everyone listening feels as energized and informed as I do.
It's been a pleasure being here. The future of energy is full of possibilities, and it's going to be fascinating to see what happens next.
And that's a wrap on this deep dive. We've covered a lot, but there's always more to explore. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and keep pushing for a brighter future. Thanks for joining us.
For tuning in today, for listening in your own way, exploring with your open mind. In our dive, you'll treasures find mysteries untangled.